So I got a question inside of the school community today, whereas how do we actually sell OpenClaw as a service? And how do we package our automations and sell those within our niches? Well, that is what we're going to be answering today, so that by the end of this video, you have a better understanding of how you can package your OpenClaw as a service, how you can sell it, who do you sell it to, and how does that whole process go? And there's basically a few ways that you can do this. And in this video, I'm going to clear up some of those confusions so that you can actually start making automations with OpenClaw or Claude Code and start selling those to people within different niches. Let's jump right into the community question. All right, so we just got this interesting question inside of the school community from Melvin, who says there are quite a few sites that help to set up OpenClaw plus hosting and offer basic skills with a click of a button. It would be nice if I could offer similar service, paid subscription, that automatically set up OpenClaw for specific industry. Example, I know financial advisors are struggling with managing their customers, leads, follow-ups via Telegram. And for financial advisors who wants to expand their reach, we'll also post content on IG and TikTok. It would be nice if there's a way to automate such custom OpenClaws as a service to these folks. And that is basically what we are moving in on to actually sell as services and also automate inside of this school community. Now, obviously, there are a few ways that you can do this, and I wanted to talk just briefly about these things. Now, keep in mind, this is my way of kind of describing things here for you, but there are multiple ways you can do this. You can go as technical as you want, and you can go as little technicality as you want. So what people are doing right now when they're doing OpenClaw as a service is, well, first of all, they're building out the workflows that works for them. Now, the thing is, I'm not a financial advisor. I have no idea how to do any sort of financial advising. I would say I'm a pretty good spender, actually. I need a financial advisor. So what people are doing right now is that they do a generic click to install hosting sites, which is just basically a wrapper of another hosting company's service. They add a markup on top, and then they set up a system to install the OpenClaw in the backend where you can have a terminal, you can have the dashboard, and you can basically use that. And what is installed with this is usually basic skills. There's no industry context. User still has to figure out the how and how to use it. And what I'm seeing now, well, basically all the people that have offered to install OpenClaw for people and they're doing the setups and they're charging like 500, 600, 800 bucks to do a setup of OpenClaw is that, well, now they're stuck in a loop of having to solve issues for the people that they set it up for, because the people that bought the setup had no idea how OpenClaw even works. And the other issue is they basically let them run free with it. And sure, that's good, but without any guardrails, the API costs are costing them so much money. They don't even know how to compact, right? So they had to figure out the how. And there's no real workflow automation. There are a few out there that I've seen where they actually do sell the workflow automations. But what you can build instead of that is industry-specific agent stacks. And this means that, well, if you have a good know-how in the creator space, in the agent space, in the financial advisor space, in the real estate space, or let's say that you are in the drilling business and you know exactly what kind of automation they need. Well, you can use OpenClaw and Claude Code to start building those automations for you. And the prerequisite that you need to have for that is basically know how to speak English to your Claude Code and OpenClaw. And what you want to do is basically have pre-wired channels, Telegram, Instagram, TikTok. You want to pre-wire those if you want to do the IG automation stuff, for example. And then you want to have the workflows that basically solve real pain points, right? So you need to know to have the know-how of the industry that you're actually doing stuff. And then you offer that for a setup fee and a monthly subscription to help them actually maintain that automation, because there are going to be hiccups and there is going to be a learning curve, right? And what you can do once that's done is you can actually wrap that OpenClaw as an agent inside of your SaaS solution, for example. But then you're moving over into a more different scripts and different ways of offering that automation in a more rigid way. And you want to integrate with the company, right? So you can even sell them on an integration for their specific needs. So you're basically wrapping the OpenClaw. And yes, it is similar to what people are doing now. The only thing is that you are actually in the trenches. You're building the actual automation for yourself and you know that it's working. You've tested it, you've taught it over time, and you're able to basically keep them going with a retainer to fix any sort of issues that they come across. This means that you can do it through Discord, you can do it through Telegram, and so on and so forth. And I'd say that you basically build once and then deploy many. And yeah, obviously I use Claude Code to kind of help me with the stuff here, so not everything is actually correct. But yeah, each stack is a pre-considered set of OpenClaw agents, skills, and channels, right? So the thing that I teach inside of my beginners course, for example, with the channels, and then you have the persistent agents, and then what you're doing is you're building out the automation in the way that you visualize it, you test it, and then once it's actually working and you know that you can replicate that for multiple people, well, then you package it into a skill. And then now, whenever you set up OpenClaw or Claude Code for someone and you want to run this for it on their local machine, well, now you can just install your skill. So you don't publish this skill anywhere. You just package it as a zip file, upload it for the people that you're actually setting this up for. And now you basically adjust and fit this automation for that person. Now, you have a lot of agencies that would do this using N8N, for example, but that's no longer needed because you can just speak out, hey, I want this automation for this thing, and now you can package it nicely into a skill, install it, and have it running for them. And now you have a retainer where you come in as the technical support to help them either expand their automations, create new skills for them, or to basically fix any issues that they had before with the pre-existing one, right? So for the financial advisors, you can do lead management and content, auto schedule, follow-up reminders, IG TikTok content repurposing. So you take whatever they have on their blog, you repurpose that for IG and TikTok. You can take all of their competitors and repurpose their scripts so that they can create viral content that is actually fitting for the today's market of Gen Alpha, for example. You have real estate agents, right? So you have listing and description generator, you have buyer inquiry autoresponders, open house follow-up sequences, social media content from listing. You got coaches and creators, video to multi-platform posts. This is awesome when it comes to parasite SEO, where you're just trying to proliferate all the different platforms available to you and repurpose your content. I have a workflow where I have my video and I post it inside of my OpenClaw. OpenClaw publishes this to all my different platforms for my reels. It'll auto-transcribe whatever I'm doing and then come up with a good title and everything. And I'm still working on that. Every time it generates me something, I'm basically just like, I didn't like the way you did this title. Let's just fix that. That's amazing. You got DM autoresponder for lead magnets. I already have this as well, but I'm actually not using OpenClaw or Claude Code for this. I'm actually using a service called leads.sh. Community QA bot. You can put this inside of your Telegram or inside of School. School is a little bit more complicated, and I wouldn't do this. Course content scheduler, for example. So my recommendation here is like, start with one vertical and then nail that and then copy the playbook to the next industry. So you can actually move ahead. But honestly, if you want to be the guy within the niche, take any sort of agency out there for SEO, whatever, right? Do you have SEO agencies for pest control companies? You have SEO agencies for HVAC companies. You have SEO agencies for pet food companies, right? Become the pet food AI agent guy or woman, and you are going to succeed because you are going to be the number one person that they come to. And well, if you're the only person doing automations for pet food companies, well, I'm pretty sure that you're going to get contacted by the pet food company whenever they're curious about actually working and automating their company, right? So really think, what vertical can you go into and come up with as many skills. You can even take skills from other people, repackage them into an automation for the pet food company. And that's going to work. Just make sure that things that you're doing actually works and is good. So I think the quote goes like, good artists copy and great artists steal. And then you steal and you improve, basically. So here's some revenue steps on how to monetize your agent stack. I'd say pick one industry, right? Talk to 3 to 5 people in a niche, find the real pain points, find the things that they need to automate, and really don't really guess. Just ask, what is it that we could automate for you guys? And then see, could I automate that for free for you guys? Cool. Once you automated that one thing for free, they're most likely going to give you money, but you'll have a case study and you're going to be able to try out the automation in real time and then be able to package that and sell it to the next person. And you'll be able to get the results like, we managed to get this financial advisor this so-and-so results and we saved them X amount of time. Would you want to actually do this for yourself as well? The cost is this. We know it works. Are you down, right? You can then now collect leads, use your OpenClaw to send out emails. about this automation that you just talked about. So you build a stack, you create the agent skills, channel configs, solve those specific problems, template everything so you spin up a new instance really, really fast. And then you charge the setup and monthly one-time fee to customize it to their business, monthly subscription for hosting, maintenance, and skill updates. And here you can add a markup to that cost, and they'll be like, that's fine because we're saving X amount in employee costs, for example, right? And I actually recommend that you can actually do a Stripe subscription now where they allow you to add a markup on API costs. So if you can track your API cost for their setup, you can basically add a markup and you'll be able to add X amount on top of whatever your API is charging you. So you stand for the API costs. They basically just pay you, the retainer, to make the automation keep rotating and working, basically. And then whenever you find a way to extract that into a new AI agent. So look, OpenClaw is never going to be the end all be all. There's going to be a new AI agent tool stack out there really, really soon. So this just means that if you build this now, it's only going to get better as new tools come out because they're all kind of working on the same thing. I said, good artists copy, great artists steal. All of the AI companies are stealing from each other these things that are working, which means that they kind of end up with the same kind of system and how it works. This means that if you build a skill in OpenClaw, you can easily drag that skill over to Claude Code. And also you can take that skill from Claude Code into ChatGPT, for example. The possibilities are endless. Just get to building, understand how you can build, how you can automate, and what you can automate. And then, well, whoop-de-doo, you're going to be able to basically sell that stuff and improve it over time. So stack more verticals. Once the first niche is working, the playbook repeats. New industry, same model, different skills. This one is not, I don't agree fully with this. And I'm sorry, I should not have this in the video. But basically what I want to say here is that I think you should go into one niche, automate the shit out of that niche, and then become the #1 person to go to for automations in that niche. And that's what I'm going to be teaching inside of the operated vault, basically. So you got no code versus custom coded. So I would say start with what you know and level up when you're ready. So you got OpenClaw UI plus skills. You can have that and basically build inside of that. You can also then, once you have the actual workflow built, like you have the visual agent configuration, drag and drop skill builder, blah, 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 blah. Now you can look into making, once you have a little bit more knowledge, basically, you can now look into doing a custom agent launcher, right? So you code a custom setup script or launcher that provisions OpenClaw instances programmatically. So you got more control and more scalable, but it requires development skills. This is the thing, right? But if you have started selling OpenClaw automations for people or Claude Code automation, I don't really care what kind of automations you're selling. As long as you're selling, that is good. Then you can hire a developer to help you build this out. But honestly, if you're able to build workflows inside of OpenClaw, the process of downloading Claude Code and then building out and custom agent launchers should not be super, super, super hard. It just takes a little bit of grit. And I am going to be talking about this inside of the Operator Vault community. Right now, the cost is at $29 per month. If you missed the first batch, well, that's fine. Now you have the second batch before the price goes up to $49, and then it's eventually going to go to $99 and so on and so forth as we're adding more stuff. Inside of the Operator Vault right now, you can actually find already inside of the classroom, we have the AI Content Factory, Advanced OpenClaw course. We have got the full OpenClaw course. We got a 100x content database. The SEO training is dropping with Claude Code, and I'm also going to be dropping the Claude Code course as well for building custom AI agent launchers and how you can set up your automations inside of Claude Code and then migrate those to OpenClaw and sell those as a service. Awesome. So that's the video. I hope that was helpful and gave you a little bit more knowledge on what I mean by how you can sell your automations. And yeah, that's the video.